Good morning, guys. It's the 28th of June. It's 8:30 here in the morning. Um, Anyone that's not had a look yet, this is my Facebook page. Go join the group, guys. There's some great info in there, some lovely people as well, and we're all on the same page, all 1,800 of us. Um, right, this is about the document I've been sharing from A Plain Truth. I want to share it on YouTube. I've just recently had two videos taken down, so I probably might get another strike for this, but I think it's that important that it's worth taking the risk. This is what this is what it's about. It's a leaked document from within government in the UK. I'm just going to play it. Just watch this. Many of you have already seen it, but I just want to put it out there because I know how the censorship is at the moment. It's insane. So just watch this, guys.
From Neil M. Ferguson, Imperial College, June 14th, 2021. Subject, next steps, permanent lockdown of the UK, private and confidential. To Frank Atherton, Dr. McBride, Michie, Smith, Taylor, Balance, Van Tam, and Chris Whitty. We should look up those names and see. So I'm just going to read from the document here. With the impending decision and announcement to be made later today by the Prime Minister in regards to the 4-week extension of the lockdown of the United Kingdom, we now have a relatively short window of opportunity with which to finalize our next steps of the process. It remains crucial for everything to remain on track and for us all to remember our common purpose behind this. It has been tough and will get tougher, but provided that we stay united and we manage to persuade the bulk of the country that we're doing this for the good reasons, then we'll be able to move on with the part 2 of the plan. In short, this will be moving towards a permanent lockdown of the country from Thursday, July 15th, with the reasons for doing so being a spike in the new Indian, we know this is coming out, the variant, the Delta out of India, Kamala, it's called the Kamala, right? Kamala Harris, Vice President, or that rides the beast. New Indian and Nepal variants, remember the sludge coming out of India as well, which, as we know, is just a rebranding of hay fever. So it's really just rebranding hay fever, and they're going to call it the new variant. The virus has already been very profitable and fruitful for us, and there's no limit to which we cannot further profit in both financial and reputational terms. Still, we must ensure that we have complete and utter cooperation from both the government and the media with this, and use a line that is, quote, it is just too risky to go ahead with the summer. We can model increases of these variants in line with, for example, 1, anti-lockdown protest. This would be a great one to push in light of recent events. 2, Euro 2021 football matches in England and Scotland, soccer matches. 3, where populations swell during the summer months, seaside resorts, as well as theme parks, as well as countryside and tourist traps, the names of theme parks and seaside resorts as well. If we can get the message out that because of these variants are going to be multiple and it will completely crash the NHS, National Health System, if not correctly dealt with immediately, then the public should be compliant, and the compliance and unquestioning nature of the masses will be crucial in getting us across the finishing line, and thereby we would have played our part in the changing of the country. It will then be for the others to lock down as part of the Kalergi and the WEF, World Economic Forum Schwab Plan, for other reasons such as the environment and water scarcity 2022 to 2023, food shortages 2023 to 2024, and global finance and mass inflation 2024 to 2025, culminating in finalization of the United Nations, the WHO, and the World Economic Forum Joint Global Kalergi Plan in 2025. But we know that whilst we know there will be resistance to this, we must ensure that any and all resistance is kept to an absolute minimum, and this applies to all stratas of society, from the ordinary man, women in the street to MPs and lords, whilst over 70% support our actions thanks to the modification from YouGov. We have a hardcore group of vehement so-called, quote, pro-freedom people who are determined to scupper us at any opportunity. The launch of the new GB News channel has only added fuel to this fire. Therefore, my plan is for us to apply as much pressure on social media companies in the United Kingdom to commence the following procedures immediately in order to protect us and what we are doing. 1. Block, ban, delete any and all posts and users which go against scientific consensus. 2. For websites to restrict and deny access to the above group, including cancellation of, quote, any accounts. 3. For anti-lockdown people and their group leaders to have their details forwarded to the police and be arrested for inciting hatred, violence, and civil disobedience. This is a provision already accounted for under the Coronavirus Act of 2020. For any parent guardian who openly states that they or their family will not be vaccinated, to have their children, elderly relative removed permanently from the home and or for them to be removed from the property, regardless of ownership or deed entitlements. Regardless of ownership, deed entitlements. Regardless of ownership, deed entitlements. A copy of these proposals titled Combating COVID Disinformation 2021 has already been sent to Nick Clegg at Facebook, Jack Dorsey at Twitter, and Susan Wojcicki at YouTube, and Sundar Pichal at Google Alphabet. Also, I understand that the Prime Minister is going to push for stronger action in this regard against the anti-lockdown movement, including deploying the Army, and for every street in the United Kingdom to be strictly and rigorously policed during the forthcoming July lockdown. I also have been updated by Serco, who are to release, quote, stay-at-home bracelets, which will act like electronic tags and will be made compulsory for every household in the country, with all residents and tenants, etc., being made to have both by law. This is already, and Israel's already doing this, and also the movie Songbird 2023, they have their bracelets.
That's right, guys. Israel are already going on with this program. Listen, I've been going on about this since December 2019, guys. A lot of you thought I was crazy at the beginning. A lot of you seem to now see that I wasn't lying. This is all in line with Rockefeller, Operation Lockstep 2010, Event 201, Agenda 21, and what we're now renaming it Agenda 2030, but it's really Agenda 21. It's all in line with the Georgia Guidestones. This is real, guys.
It's all part of the plan. Watch the movie Songbird. COVID 2023, please, if you want to see what they're talking about here. Alright, these bracelets will work with the new 5G technology and will notify the CCC, the Central Command Center, if a person has ventured outside of their, quote, confined space, freedom, nope, confined space, with punishments ranging from, get this, £50,000 fine to detainment into custody. That's $50,000 more than that for punishment.
And for any of you that don't know, this is how much of a threat people like me are, and others. There's lots of us at it. The 77th Brigade of the British Army sits there constantly monitoring these posts, watching videos. Essentially, that's what they do. The 77th Brigade of the British Army. Get that in your head, guys.
Per person. Or they can take you in custody, quote, for an indefinite period of time. Remember when Obama locked up people for indefinite periods of time without due process? That ended that. That's what's happening, folks. So the first batch of bracelets will be introduced in August in London, Birmingham, Nottingham, Cardiff, Belfast, Swansea, Manchester, Newcastle, Glasgow, Edinburgh, Liverpool, Leeds, Sheffield, Norwich, Cambridge, York, Exeter, and Carlisle, with second batches being introduced the following month. And if
you get the 5G map, it correlates completely with all what he's just said there. The 5G rollout map corresponds with the cities he's talking about there. It's all linked, guys. Every last bit of it. And the more you learn, the deeper you go down this hole, the more you see of all these little dots that seem like they're absolutely fuck all to do with each other. We're all part of the same plan.
The 3rd of November, in order to reach the outlying and hard-to-reach areas of the United Kingdom, the whole of the United Kingdom is scheduled to have these bracelets on and activated.
And don't worry about the hard-to-reach area. SpaceX is taking care of that. Don't you worry. What do you think all that's about, guys?
No later than St. Nicholas Day, December 1st, 2020. and look as if we had their
friends of the people. And look at the timing of this Matt Hancock overthrowing, man. Fucking hell, guys, come on. This is winding me up, but you've got to be seeing what's going on.
best interests at heart so that they do not think counter to what we want them to do. We must get to the media to push the line as too many people, more than the R rate, have died. The message is to always stay at home, protect lives, and save the NHS. As well as being scientists, we also need to keep up our good profile in the media and be savvy as we possibly can. Let's be savvy. We're going to be savvy in the media. Scientists being savvy. With regards to the newer extra quote variants, I would like to hear your opinions on the following prototypes. The capital variant, centered in London. Anti-lockdown protests and football fans attending Euro 2020 matches will be deemed responsible for a more aggressive variant which causes lung, heart, and kidney problems.
And this is why we couldn't have parents at our child's sports days this year, but the football can go ahead, because it's part of this plan, man.
This will mean locking down London effective Thursday, 15th July. The Dorset variant, centered in Bournemouth. People traveling to holiday in Bournemouth from London brought the capital variant into the area and has mutated into a new variant, which means the area must be locked down effectively Monday, July 19th. The Border variant, centered on Scotland, England. People traveling between two countries have brought two different variants in these two countries, which are mixing and spreading, mutating with others variants. We could also work this in with the football fans attending the Euro 2020 matches in Scotland. This will mean a transport bond between the two major nations, a transport ban between the two nations from Friday, 2nd of July. Please also be aware that in order to get more people to be vaccinated, GlaxoSmithKline is to stop the production of medicines for common colds, flu, and hay fever, along with Johnson & Johnson, Bayer AG, Sanofi, Merck & Company, as of the start of July. No chemist will be able or nor allowed to sell them. We must count on the people's willing obedience as well as the Prime Ministers and his ministers to be compliant with us. We all know that if this were to unravel and fall apart, that the consequences would be dire. If we can continue to manipulate the majority, this will make things a lot easier and allow us to extra breathing space required. Example, if you're a true patriot, if you obey, follow, don't bully. Also, center groups such as blacks, Asians, and the quote gay community are being ignorant and problematic with regards to vaccinations. More is necessary to educate these groups, re-educate these groups into conforming, and having both vaccines when instructed to. Regarding our immunity from the future prosecutions, this depends both on the Prime Minister ourselves retaining a good relationship and both his and his government ministers complying. Compliance will be mandatory. He knows what leverage we have over him, and therefore he is bound and guided by us first and foremost. We can get our way.
Did you hear that, guys? The leverage that they have on him. This shit runs deep.
However, we also have the literal get-out-of-jail-free card by stating that we are following the data and doing our best for the people. So long as that line continues to be put out in beliefs, such as in the case of issuing the midazolam to the elderly, we should just be fine and will avoid any flack. In closing, therefore, let's keep this up and for the next few weeks and ensure that you are seen to be acting only in the best interest of the United Kingdom in fighting against the virus. Please print out a copy of this and keep under lock and key, and don't forget basic security as to what the public don't know will not hurt them. As ever, deny all knowledge of having received this information, even if this means to those you know. We don't want our emails to be hacked or compromised. Even if this means lying to those you know. Dun, 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 dun. Cue Mission Impossible. And then they list the last sheet here. First names of other people in country, or actually full names. Don Avery, Channel 5.
This is very telling, guys. Yeah. For anybody out there that's going to do a little bit more digging, check this out.
5, Catherine Ainley Erickson Communication Company. Lord Chief Justice Baron Burnett. Again, there's companies from the BBC, Channel 4, Metropolitan Police, Highways England, with people's names on here. So, is it validated? Is it true? Or is this part of the onion? So in closing, this is not part of the onion. This this is from Klaus Schwab's book itself, COVID-19, The Great Reset. He put out like.
And this really exists, guys. You can go and check it for yourself. He's writing about everything that they're doing, and he's not the only one.
Like 4 months ago, Darth Vader running, this is not a country by country, this is a world takeover. So it says in his book, at least 4 billion useless eaters, that was the Kissinger term, right? Get rid of the useless eaters, shall be eliminated by the year 2050 by means of limited wars, organized epidemics of fated, rapid-acting diseases and starvation. Energy, food, and water shall be kept at substantive levels for the non-elite, starting with the white populations of Western Europe and North America, and then spreading to other races. The population of Canada, Western Europe, and the United States will be decimated more rapidly than on other continents until the world's population reaches a manageable level of 1 billion, of which 500 million will consist of Chinese and Japanese races, selected because they are people who have been regimented for centuries and are accustomed to obeying authority without question.
My granddad used to tell me about this as a child. He was in the RAF and air traffic controller. And when I got to about 14, 15, obviously I've always been into this stuff, and I started asking him more questions. And he always told me that a yellow race will end up being the majority and non-Indians. He always said that.
It's not conspiracy, folks. This is really happening. Please share with all.
Right, guys, please share this. Again, go check out my page, my YouTube channel. I'm on Twitter as well. It's Stop the New Normal. Just go check me out, guys. Share this. Hit like and subscribe. But most of all, get telling people. Get sharing. Just these vaccines on there, fucking people up. God bless, guys. Bye for now.